there, I just want to say thank you for clicking this video. And this video is going to be about how to get better quickscoping and hit more quads. I'm just going to be demonstrating it on bots because it'll be easier. But first of all, I'm going to go through different sniper attachments, which one I prefer, best spots to hit a quad, and just overall to become better quickscoping. This should have been a new intro for this video, and if they weren't, that just means I'm crap at doing intros and probably never will be one because I can't do them. But if there were an intro, then yeah. So yeah, let's get into this. So firstly, we've just got the normal modes with no attachment at all. I don't really use this because I don't like it. I don't like it because of the sway. The sway is absolutely terrible on this finger. It's just terrible. The arrow sway is just really bad with no attachments. And also, if you were to come here, if I come down here, if I fully stop moving, shoot. If I come back in again, stop moving again, as you can see, the bullet actually is disaligned. The bullet was actually, while I was aiming there, show you one more time, if I shoot there, if I aim it again, look, the bullet is disaligned. The bullet does not go where the scope is. It's a tiny bit to the right bottom corner, just a tiny bit though. So that's why I don't really prefer this sniper. And overall, I just don't really like it. So let's move on to the next one. ACOG. I haven't really got much to say about the ACOG because I've never used it. I've never really used it. But if you are gonna go for clips, I recommend that you don't use the ACOG because it don't look as good. So yeah, that's just my opinion. But if you like ACOG, then that's fine by me. But since I've never used it, I can't really give you any good tips on it. So I'm sorry about that. And then now we've got the variable scope. I used to use this all the time because this used to be my favourite because it's a lot more accurate. It's got less arrow sway than the other one. And with this one, if I come down here, shoot, then it'll be exactly on. See, it won't be disaligned like the other thingies were. I used to really like this, but the problem is every time I spawn in, since it's variable scope, I've got to press circle because I like it at this certain, I don't know, just this certain that zoomed in. And also I just can't quickscope with it. It feels weird. So the problem with this one, it changes the zoom. That if you forget to do it, it just puts you off, and sometimes it can cause the death, which you don't really deserve. So that's what I think about this sniper scope. So let's move on to the next one. This is the iron sights. This is pretty much only good for close quarters maps. I find it a lot more better just because it's got a faster zooming time, and a faster ADS time than all the other snipers. But for far range, it's not too good because I find that iron sight's a bit bulky and a bit hard to find your targets at sometimes when they're far away. So this is definitely better for close range maps, like pretty much standing here. It would work far much better close range than long range. So this is all I've got to say for this scope. So let's move on to the next one. Again, but with CP on, I forgot about it. And pretty much the only difference is there's less arrow sway, which does help a bit. But like I said again, the thing is still misaligned. So I just quickly wait until my start stops moving. Shoot. Aim back in. There we go. The bullet hit. I'm aiming here, but the bullet just went to the thingy again. And I can't breathe. Right. If I breathe in here, so over there, even though the bullet hit there, it's not too big of a difference, but it is. Say if that's your edge of the target there and you shoot there, then that would probably be a miss. Final one. And this is one I always use because I really highly recommend using this one. You will definitely hit more clips using it. I found it because it's extremely accurate, got a lot less arrow sway, and on maps like this people stand out more. And overall I think the clips do look a lot nicer using the scope. So yeah, so if you use this scope, you'll definitely hit more clips. So for a starter, if you're having trouble using other scope, and if you haven't tried this one, I would definitely suggest you try using this one out. Now finish this, I'm going to move on to my sensitivity and quad feed spots on this map. I'm going to do a series to the quad feed spots on all the maps. So yeah, so I'm trying to move on to my sensitivity, best place to hit a quad feed, and how to hit them more frequently. Pretty much how to hit them more often. On to sensitivity. I've always played on insane on every single Call of Duty because I've pretty much always sniped because it's just fun. But the main thing if you want to be a sniper, you want to use a high sensitivity because it's just easier to go for quick scopes and drag scopes. So if you do play a lot of sensitivity now, I do suggest you put it in a high one and just keep it on sensitivity. Whatever you do, not move it around, because if you move it around, that's probably like the worst thing you can do, because then you've got to get used to it again, so that just restarts the whole process of getting your aim like really good. So I suggest thinking of a sensitivity you want to put it on now, that's high. If you like going for trick shots too, I recommend putting it on at 20 or something, so you don't have to keep on changing it. But once you put it on 20, if you think, oh, I'm missing loads of shots now, don't change again, because if you keep it on 20 for ages, you will get extremely used to it, and it'll just become a lot more easier to quick scope on that sensitivity. So I recommend putting it in high sensitivity and just keeping that sensitivity until you get used to it. That's really good. So the best spot to hit quad feeds in this map is definitely all you do. You just stand over here and then just keep looking at different places like that. There's the spawn over there where people normally run out of here. There's spawn over there. See, in here it's very hectic, so in here it's a lot more easier to hit quads. The best you can do is just practice on bots with like a new sensitivity. And make sure you put it under health, make sure you put it on normal. Most people put it on 30%, but if you do that, then you just get used to shooting them at the foot. You need to get used to shooting them at the chest or above, or else you get hit marker. And also, if you want to for a quad, do not be scared or afraid to go for a hard scope, because you think it won't look as good. But safety a long way away, I like to scope in for that good 3 seconds just to make sure my shot's going to hit. Because I want for that quad feed and the miss, it's going to be pretty irritating, so something like that. I just maybe 2 or 3 seconds just to make sure my shot's going to hit. But other than that, if they're close range, then definitely do go for a quick scope. You want to make sure your middle screen is roughly around the target. Then just aim in, shoot. After a while, you just get used to where the middle of your screen is, so you'll know it off by heart. So make sure your middle screen is roughly around where they are. Aim in and shoot. And this is where high sensitivity comes in really good with drag scoping, because if it's not on target, you can quickly just drag scope onto your target like that. Once you get extremely good at knowing whereabouts the middle of your screen is and drag scoping, then you can go for lining up before you actually aim in. Then it becomes a quick scope. So firstly, when you're getting used to it, just aim in roughly, think I'll just drag scope onto him. That's the best thing you can do at the start. And then when you start with that knowing where the middle of the screen is and that, and whereabouts to aim and shoot, then start doing just quick scopes like that. And from there on, it just get a lot more easier when you know where the middle of your screen is and you practice a lot on bots. So on bots, after you're hitting pretty much most of your shots, like 50% of the time, that maybe you miss one, but pretty much hit it most of the time, then you can move on to multiplayer. Remember, people in multiplayer do have exosuits, which does make it a little bit more harder, but at least you know the basics, and whereabouts your middle of the screen is, whereabouts to aim in, whereabouts your sensitivity and that, so that shouldn't be too much harder for you. Yeah. Once you stop, and then once your accuracy does seem to get a lot more better to practice on bots, you'll see that online it gets better, and then therefore start hitting more feeds and more quad feeds. So, but after you have hit like a couple of quad feeds or something, and definitely free fall is definitely the best mode for hitting it on. It's a lot more fun too. So after you hit pretty much quad feeds, And after you've hit like a couple or something, and you're starting to get bored of them, you can start going for that quad feeds with switches in the middle of them. So pretty much you need to have a shield on your class. You also need to get used to how people move. See how he's moving forward? I need to put my scope in front of him rather than on him, because he'll be out my start then. Since he's moving forward, well, he's stopped then. Nope. Thank you. Oh, I'm doing a terrible example. Right. He's fast when he's moving. Come on. Like him, he was moving forward then. Since I aimed on him, because I didn't know which way we were going, I missed a shot. So if someone's running sideways, you need to aim in front of them and then aim in then, so then you'll be on him as it like him pretty much. I have to aim a tiny bit in front of him. I'll just try and get a better example now. Just as this example here, he shouldn't see me. He's gonna start running up there, and I'm gonna aim in front of him. So then he runs straight into my start. So that was my example there. So pretty much this is just my class setup. What I use, I just used Moore's quick bolt, and then for my secondary, I used the Atlas 20mm. If I want to go for switch feeds, so obviously I need overkill, and for my perks I just have lightweight. So say if I'm off for quad feed or something, I can run to that spot faster to get it, rather than being slow. And I use just fan jacket, because it's just annoying when you get a grenade jogged at you and you've got to move out way. And it's just annoying when a grenade kills you in the first place. And for my second perk, I've obviously just got fast hands, then I can switch weapons faster than that. So I can quickly, if you press triangle and L1 at the same time, it switches weapon that faster than normally. I think it does anyway, and it looks better too. So that's why I use fast hand, so I can do that faster to get to that weapon faster. And for perk 3 I just use toughness, and I don't flinch as much, so I can be more accurate. And then blast suppressor. And in fact no, it's probably better with hardwired, because you don't really need that when you're using a sniper anyway. So that's the class I recommend, because since your sniper doesn't have a silencer, there's no point in keeping off the UAV or blast suppressor, because you're going to be shooting all the time anyway. So yeah, my score streaks, I just have UAV on it, but it's mostly sniper. And whatever you do, don't put a pistol in your sniping class. Why? Because for sniping, if you want to get better than sniping, and you're always relying on your pistol, and then that's not good. You want to rely on your sniping, don't you? Because you just do. So whatever you don't have a pistol on, because then you just be pistol switching all the times. So your sniping won't get any better. You just keep amazing switching pistol. If you don't have your pistol on you, and you know that one shot is the shot you need to hit, or else you're gonna die, it's gonna make you hit it even more rather than just missing it. And just switch to your pistol straight away. So that would definitely, so that's the class I pretty much always used. So I'll probably just have a link on the screen now. I did make a montage of a couple of quad feeds I've hit. It's on my second edit, so if it's crap, don't bully me about it. But it did take quite a while to make it too, so I definitely appreciate it if you were to go check that out. And this is it. So if this has helped you in any way, shape or form, then I don't mind if you were to give it a like or subscribe. So thanks, and maybe I'll see you again.